I've been doing my own paranormal investigation at 20 Elmton Road, where we believe it's haunted. By what we don't know, or who to be exact, but we do know a few things. Here's what's happened so far. We've had instruments going off during a live investigation, a name's been brought up twice and two separate occasions, the name Tom. I've also been doing some digging into the history of the building on Elmton Road, where I went to the local library, but unfortunately my search ran dry. I managed to find lots of photos and a bit of information, but nothing concrete. However, I did manage to get a message from a post I put out on Facebook. This was from somebody whose grandparents used to live and work in the bank. By the end of part 2, we decided we needed to get back in the building. So I'm back with more equipment, and I'm here to try and find out who Tom is and to see if he will communicate with us further. Other names have cropped up too. Will more instruments be set off? Can we capture a ghostly presence on camera, and can you turn a skeptic into a believer? Will we get to the bottom of what's haunting 20 Elmton Road? We're about to find out. Before I set the cameras back up to do an overnight investigation, I thought I'd take a trip to the local churchyard, which is directly over the road from the Crags Radio building. I thought if I could just find this Thomas, however his name appeared, he might be here. Now, just to show you how close we are to the churchyard, we established in part 2, we're literally over the road. Could we be picking up anomalies from the churchyard that might not directly be coming through the building at 20 Elmton Road? So to just give you an idea of how far we are, that's how far. Just a stone's throw away. So I'm looking for the name Tom. I'm looking for Tom specifically, not Thomas, because Tom is what comes through. Now, there's lots of Thomases in this churchyard, and they all seem to match up date-wise. However, out of all the gravestones, I only found one Tom. This is Tom and Anna Palmer. Could this be the Tom we've been picking up all along? We need his last name to come out. A couple of nights later, I'm back with better video equipment, this time coming prepared with night vision cameras. I've also purchased infrared lights to make sure we've got plenty of light to pick up any activity. So I'm in Studio 2, also known as the attic. Camera's now recording. I've got a infrared light to come on when it gets dark. It's still quite light outside because it's only about 8:30. I've got two pieces of equipment in here. Flashy ball. There you go, it's turned on. It's on the edge of the table. And then we've got little Teddy. There we go, which reacts as well. Both of those in shot on the camera. I've got a little microphone as well on there. That's gonna set to record now for about 8 hours. So it'll go past midnight. And we're gonna just leave it and see what happens. In the office, I've got an infrared light set up, an EMF meter and flashy ball on the table, and over on my desk, I've got the Alice box. Okay, spirits, I'm leaving you now. Won't be here tonight to bother you. Like my left ear's just completely gone. It's yours as well. I'm leaving you now. I'm not going to be here tonight, but I will be back tomorrow. But I'm leaving you with some equipment that you might have seen before. I've left some flashy balls for you to play with. I've got a machine here as well behind me. If you can see this green light behind me. If you can make that go red tonight, that'd be amazing. Now, I've got two cameras, one in here and one upstairs. I know you like to be on film. If you want to try and communicate through those, that'd be amazing too. If you can maybe talk into the camera, maybe tap it like you did last time, that'd be amazing. If you want to try and communicate with me, if it's Tom here tonight and you're wanting to communicate further, I'd love to know your last name. But I'll leave it with you. I'll be back in the morning, and I'll be back tomorrow night with somebody called Beck. After a call out, we left the building and let the cameras carry on rolling until the next day. Now, the next day, I came back, collected the footage, and I discovered something I never expected to see. So a lot of people ask me, why ghost hunting? What's got you into that? Why don't you believe? Since being a young age, I've always been a massive fan of horror. And I've always liked the idea of the afterlife. I've never seen or witnessed anything that I suppose makes me solidly believe that there is an afterlife and there are paranormal happenings that you just can't explain. I'm going to tell you a story about something I've never really told anybody, and to this day I still think about it. I don't tell anybody because I don't really know how to explain it. So when I was younger, I can't remember my age, but I would have been 10 if not younger. I'm laid in bed and I wake up to somebody leaning over me. Now this is where it gets a bit hazy, because when I was younger I always used to have high fevers, and it always used to cause me to have hallucinations, and I always used to see things that weren't there. But this particular instance just felt different. I wasn't unwell, didn't have a temperature, I hadn't come down with anything. I was fine pretty much the day before, the day after. But I'm laid in bed, I wake up as somebody stood over me, and I then almost have an out-of-body experience where I'm stood in the corner of my room watching me laid in bed, and I'm trying to scream, but there's nothing coming out. For years I've lived with this memory and never knew how to share it or who to share it with. And I suppose the only reason why I'm sharing it here now in this particular video is because even if then I'd have told somebody, would anybody have believed me? Much like this, if you've watched part 1 and part 2, you might be thinking the same thing. No matter what I show you, would you ever believe? That's the skepticism behind the paranormal, the unexplainable. It's very much that. It's unexplainable. Now this, what I believed I was experiencing at this particular time, was astral projection. This is basically an intentional out-of-body experience that assumes the existence of a subtle body known as the astral body or body of light through the consciousness, which can function separately from the physical body and travel throughout the astral plane.
Well, how do you tell somebody that? How do you say that, you know, that's what you experience without sounding either one, crazy, and two, how do you even explain that to somebody? So it's always baffled me a little bit, and I've held on to that for many years, and I'd love to be able to relive it, although I can sort of do that just from memories. I just want to see what it was, and was that something that maybe did happen? Because that would make me believe, and that's kind of what I'm hoping to see here, is that I do want to believe, but I'm finding it very hard to. Things are happening that I can't explain, and I'm trying to, but I'm struggling to get a reasonable explanation for them.
So back to me reviewing the footage from the night before. I had over 18 hours worth of footage to review, and at first nothing particularly stood out. I went straight to camera 2 in the attic, where most of the activity that's happened so far has happened in this room. But nothing at all. So when I went to camera 1's review, I expected to find the same. And to be fair, upon first review, I didn't find anything significant. There was a couple of times the EMF flashed, but the Alice box remained quiet most of the night. Now there is one instance, I don't know what it means, but I need to share it with you. What you're about to see happened at 12:13 AM, the only time any activity was caught or heard on any of the cameras. The volume has been increased so you can hear what's happening. I've also added captions to the screen.
Still. Visit Dry. 90. Done. Done. Find me. It's Tom.
For the first time, we pick up something. It's not a shape, it's not a person, but it's a shadow. No matter how many times I watch it back, regardless of my name coming out on the Alice box, I can't figure out what that shadow is. So, I think we need to come back. There needs to be another live investigation, and if this is Tom, we need to try and figure out who he is.